Good evening and welcome to the Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we are joining a group, kind of a mixed bag, but it's a group that is gathered due to unfortunate tragedy here. The, the number of uh, pagans, primarily Norse pagans, were fairly brutally and viciously killed not too long ago when the National Torture Museum, specializing in medieval torture implements, was robbed as well. And these individuals were tortured and killed at that location. As the police have kind of to a next of kin or to the others of the church or faith to be interred. To that end, Marius is one of the groundskeepers, and Angel is the other one uh, of the historic Rog Cemetery. Have picked it said that the prince will have some announcements as well. Many many of people have already gathered, having heard about this and begun gathering kind of through the evening in preparation. As you guys arrive, the cemetery is mildly crowded. Um,
Keep breaking up.
and The prince is kind of taking a back seat on this one. He's at the cemetery, but he's kind of standing out of the way for the time being, deferring to for Avalon and Miranda. You guys would notice some increased commotion outside your haven here as people are gathering in the cemetery.
Mija, do you know why we are having people outside here? We are not supposed to have people here. See?
I didn't know, but someone must know if there are people here. So why don't we go check it out?
Miranda gives Avalon a kiss and then says, see, Mija, let's go see what trouble we can get into tonight.
Let's. And Avalon will lead the way to go out of the haven to investigate what's going on.
And as you guys would go outside, you'd see uh, Marius has quite a few bodies stacked uh, in a fairly well decorated uh, funeral pyre.
Oh. Avalon kind of says that quietly and glances over at Miranda. This would be why.
I did not know we were going to be having a party tonight. Oh, this is such a distress. I am not dressed for a party. I wonder, do you do you recognize any of these bodies?
Yes, that would be a good question.
Roll me a straight intelligence roll.
Standard?
Yes.
1.
One success. You think one of them you had seen maybe around town. It's hard to say. Possibly visited your shop or one of the other similar shops in the area. They're all of the 5 young men who are there. They're all still wearing like their holy symbols and stuff, and they're 3 Norse and 2 Celtic pagans.
Okay. Kind of looks over at Miranda, and I think I recognize one of them having come into the shop. Do not know a name.
Would that be a straight intelligence too, or
Yes.
okay? Oops, not that tab. This tab. Yay!
Pick a tab, any tab.
I has 1 success for a name.
The gentleman in question was one of the Norse practitioners, and he didn't give his given name, but he called himself Bjorn a couple times. Well, you both know that's not uncommon with some of the pagan practices to take a chosen name as they continue in the faith.
Simiha, they have been to the shop. Is what his name again? And she says what the name she remembers. I'm giving.
Seems we are in for a funeral this evening.
Miranda's gonna look around at the other people gathered beyond just the pile of bodies.
There you would see the number of mages and pagans who are or vampires who are all part of the pagan communities.
There are a few of your cousins about tonight for these.
Hmm. Avalon will kind of stand there quietly, and her eyes will dance across the crowd, and she will wait to begin.
Milan's going to be wandering around through the crowd, kind of sizing people up in sort of a security sort of a manner.
All right. And you will notice that many of them appear to be fairly well armed, although most of them are some sort of ceremonial weapon or other. Other than that, it seems to be a relatively peaceful gathering. Nobody's real
Miranda
violent.
is gonna pat her pockets, realize she left her purse in their haven. She's gonna stick her finger up to Avalon's mouth and say, "I need a bit of my blood, por favor. Muchas gracias, mija. Mija.
Oh.
Just a little. And she kind of
She just
gestures
kind
off,
of
gestures like on the fang kind of tooth. Un poquito. Poquito, por favor. Mija.
Lauren just kind of grin. Whatever do you need? She's like trying to convince her to actually ask.
Mija, I said what I need. I need a little bit of my blood, but I left my knife back in my purse back home. And so my teeth are not sharp enough.
Chuckles and chuckles and then lightly bites down on her finger.
Miranda lets out a soft moan. Muchas gracias, mija. And then she goes about doing a little thingy thing with her blood. Let's see. All right. Where is it? Oh, no, actually. Oh, that one she. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, she then takes and smears that little droplet of blood across both of her eyelids. And hers is going to take a moment and chant in some language that none of y'all know. As well. It's an old language that, well, none of y'all know. Oh. So that gives me 2 successes to activate Spirit Sight.
Okay.
But she wants to pick up, like, visually seeing, like, spirits related to these bodies, perhaps, that are in distress.
Okay. So she's looking for wraiths.
I suppose, yeah. Whatever spirits, if there's spirits connected or tied to these dead bodies.
There's definitely a couple of wraiths present.
Oh, mija, that is not what I wanted to see. But that is not bad. Bueno, bueno, no, bueno. It's not bad, but it's not. It is just disheartening. Let's see. And then, what does she have? Don't I need Spirit 2 to talk to him, or is that 3?
Should be 2, I believe.
Cool, I have Spirit 2. That's another mighty powerful eye pool, too. So that's 5. I'm gonna spend a willpower to speak to these wraiths,
Okay.
which gives me 2 successes. So so Miranda kind of lets go of Avalon and walks over towards wherever the nearest wraith is.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with your headset, Holly, but it sounds like you're talking from like underwater.
Better?
Yep.
So Miranda's gonna quietly go over and talk to this wraith. Are there people near where this wraith is?
Not right in the area. He's kind of loitering in the area where there's kind of a gap left for you to pay your respects.
Hola. Can I tell if it's a male or female wraith?
It's a male.
Hola, senor.
He looks at you and says, "You can see me?"
Oh, yes. I am I'm very skilled in these arts. What are you doing here?
Well, I don't have much choice.
Why not?
We were bound, some of us, to our bodies, cursed to stay tied to them.
Who bound you?
He makes a move like if you were trying to spit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, Christians.
Can you remember anything of what these Christians were like? What they look like?
He was dressed like a priest, but I couldn't see his face.
Was there anything that stands out about him? Was he very tall, very slender?
He was taller. And by his voice, he was older or smoked a lot.
Older and smoked a lot. Okay. Older and smoked a lot. This is no bueno. If that is the case, how many were helping him? Do you remember?
When we were inside, he was alone.
Do you remember how you got there?
I remember being dragged in by some others, but then they all left. He told them to.
Then, do you remember what happened when you are kidnapped? When you are taken to be dragged?
No, we were having a celebration, just somewhat minding our own, and well, like any good celebration, there were some beverages consumed. And a couple of us got a little off balance, so to speak. But
Were these others that who died with you, were they members of your same group?
yeah, we partied together. We had a couple of us were all part of the same gathering, and then two the two Celts there. We had kind of a friendly rivalry with them. They weren't part of our group, but we got along well enough. Like to have friendly competitions.
Okay. Uh, hmm.
They did always tell me drinking with them would kill me, but I don't think this is quite what they were expected.
Sometimes the wisdom of the future comes when you are not expecting it. That is very strange. Where did you get your liquor?
We a couple of different places. Some we've made ourselves.
Was there anybody who could have done the spiking of your drinks? Uh,
He looks at you and he says, "It didn't need to be spiked when you drink as much of it as we were drinking."
so they just wait for you to pass out and then take you.
Yeah, I mean, kind of seemed like they were setting it up, so to speak.
Come. Do you know how they bound your body to your spirit?
I don't exactly. I know he cursed us, said we were damned, that we would be confined to purgatory.
I do not like this. That is not going to be okay. Um, I am going to see about unbreaking this course. Okay? Bueno?
He just kind of nods and looks at you and goes, "Not like I'm going anywhere."
Hopefully, if I do this right, you will be going somewhere you want to be. Sí, bueno. Sí, bueno. There was... I don't... Can Miranda roll anything to see if she can figure out how she would break a curse like this?
Um,
Like intelligence occult or something, or...
yeah, I would say that would probably be a good place to start, or I don't know if you have belief systems.
I have occult, enigmas, academics.
Esoterica.
Nope, no esoterica.
Then yeah, probably a cult would be the best,
Okay.
since you're trying to decipher someone else's practices effectively.
Um, Standard difficulty or higher?
We will go with 7.
7. Uh, I have 2 successes.
Um, you don't know of any specific way directly, but you do know that if he's bound to his body itself, then the uh, destruction of the body should at least release his wraith that it can try to move on in its own process.
Okay. We try the easy way first. If that does not work, I live here and we will work on getting you moved on. See? Bueno. And she's gonna go see if she can help Marius with the getting these bodies burned and whatnot.
He's finishing up preparations, and then he kind of gets up to try to do it, give like an announcement. It seems like, and he motions to the crowd for everyone to quiet down. For I get ahead of myself here. As everybody's kind of getting ready for the main event, so to speak, the Marty comes up. Marty is head of the clan Tremere, or one of them. He will come up to Milan and give her a small notebook, like a little pocket notebook type deal. He'll say, "Here's some notes I've got on this mess so far. We should probably discuss further after and see what we can come up with." So this religious standoff business is getting ugly.
Doesn't seem like it'd be good for anyone.
Probably not.
Takes the notebook and puts it inside his inner coat pocket.
Wow. Marius kind of finishes up with the pyre there, and he will kind of gesture around, and the prince, or the seneschal rather, comes forward, and he says to place everyone's mind at ease. I will be managing the pyre itself tonight to ensure flames do not run wild. If you have a particular lack of fondness for fire, I suggest you consider standing not in the front lines, but for any of you who do choose to step forth, rest assured that I'm taking steps to make sure the fire stays only burning the bodies desired.
Milan kind of nonchalantly moves to the back of the crowd.
It isn't long before Marius kind of motions. Miranda, you definitely help speed the process for him to get the bodies kind of prepped, so to speak, for the burning. Not that it requires a whole lot of prep work, but um, Marius steps forward, as does the seneschal, who raises his hands and says something in a foreign language, and then the bodies begin to burn fairly slowly to start with, at least. It's not like these things just take off. As they are burning, the prince will come forward, and he walks right up to the fire pit itself, and then he motions to one side, and a couple of people drag a couple other bodies forward. And he says, I'd like to thank those individuals, not by name because that's not what we are here for, but those who have helped me in dealing with some of this ongoing mess of the city. He gestures to the first bundle, and he says, here we have, of course, one of those fine gentlemen who thought it wise to sire children. Whatever his reasoning, it is not tolerated, it is not called for, and therefore I've done something about it. Yeah. Pulls one of the bundles forward and throws it into the fire. And as the burlap starts to kind of peel back, he says, Clan Malkavian owes everyone a debt. For among their ranks was one who would create kindred of children. I do not believe he was alone in this endeavor based on the number of children in the city, but he definitely was a factor. He drags the second one forward, and this one he takes the time to unwrap. And it's a Norseman with a longer white beard. And he says, "In this one, I regret to say the shame is mine. For my own child or return to the city brings with him treachery and corruption." Avalon, you would recognize this gentleman. This would be Steig.
She kind of like is like, holy shit. She just kind of ups.
And he
During the moment, like, doesn't say if she could go.
You cut out there with if she could go. We're not hearing anything out of you.
What about now?
Oh, we are.
I said if she could go white, she would. Shocked.
And the prince looks and says, "This one decided instead that he was going to attempt to undermine my place here out of some misplaced grudge. More importantly, he created dangerous risks for us, including the young woman he brought with him, aware of what is meant to be a supernatural, but not educated on proper protocols. He turns and he says, "You don't deserve the fire, Steig. That's too good for you." And he throws him over the pyre, and you guys see a man back there who seems to sprout claws and begin to tear this staked vampire apart. I shall do it.
Ouch.
I don't know if either of you guys have met. Well, I think at least one of you has met Petrus. He's the cursed
My
Shadow Lord.
werewolf has. Both Natalie and my werewolves have, I think. Oh no. No, I think Natalie's werewolf didn't meet him.
I think Milan met him briefly at
Avalon
the
didn't
wedding.
meet him either. Avalon wasn't at the wedding. air was.
But you see this ashen gray guy sprout black claws and tear Stag apart.
Kind of she's watching this guy tear him apart, and she's still kind of shocked and stunned, like,
Oh, Dios mío.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Avalon is watching as he gets like torn apart, still stunned. Right now, and this is affected.
Yeah, Milan would be pretty shocked by this as well. This is probably like day 3 of being allowed outside.
And Avalon is actually kind of slowly moving along the back of the crowd, still with a stunned expression, trying to get a better look at what the heck is going on to this fire. She doesn't say anything to anybody as she does it either. She just kind of moves.
Miranda's just waiting for the bodies to burn, kind of glancing between the burning bodies, the wraiths, burning bodies, the wraiths.
Some of the wraiths kind of seem to be moving about more. Yeah, and the Marius lowers his as he lowers his hand. And the flames start to die down a little bit. He says, "Our fallen brothers here did nothing wrong but practice a faith that is not acceptable to the administration. They were tortured to death for believing differently. As we give their bodies back to the earth, there remains dust to nourish the soil. So too do we ask that their spirits go to wherever it is they belong." He gestures and he says, "The honor of being burned goes to our fallen dead. But to those who fell against us, it remains yet for them to be. And he kind of sneers a little bit, and he says, repurposed. And as he gestures, the corpse that's kind of looks like it's been a redress because the corpse itself is burned. But it's been garbed in Christian robes. And he raises a hand, and the corpse kind of rises, somewhat jerky. And he says, and lo, on the third day he rose again. A couple of them kind of give a dark chuckle at that. And he says, this one is part of a group that actively assaulted our members, and he paid for that decision. Now, you'll go forth and teach them just how weak their God is. Yeah, gestures and says, we were fortunate. Our dead came back to us in a relatively peaceful manner. But the reconstruction necessary to address the dismemberment, the crude treatment of our brothers. Well, I don't have words for how horrible it was to see them the day they were brought in. He gestures again, and the prince says, let it be known that any of those who assault ours, whether that be our followers, those we protect, or those who worship with us, any threat to them will not only be met with lethal force, but they won't even be given the dignity of a good burial or a proper burning. And as the prince kind of steps down, he says, if there's any other business anyone wishes to discuss with me, I will give a half hour for court matters that remain unresolved. After that, I personally will be out hunting. And any of you who prefer to be more aggressive with your hunts, feel free to start with the Christians. We'll have a cleanup crew on standby to help minimize any messes caused by aggressive dining. As she steps back, Angel steps forward and kind of begins to say his prayers over the fallen dead, thanking them for their eternal service, both prior to and in death.
Yeah, Miranda's just watching the race, waiting for them to say something, do something, acknowledge some noticeable break, change, release.
Sure, a lot of them have started to disperse. One of them seems to kind of be lingering, but not not necessarily discomfort. He seems a lot more like it's more of a willing linger.
She'll head over towards that one then.
All right, he's standing there, still kind of loitering, but
Is this the same one she spoke to earlier?
it is not. He wandered away a bit.
Senor, why are you staying?
He looks and says, "This is a good place, and the people here are good people. But the things on the other side are not always good. Sometimes we need battles yet to be fought."
So you're staying to fight these battles, or make sure that the battles are fought?
I'm staying to do my part to help fight.
Do you know anything about the people who took you, or the man who was torturing and killing you?
If he comes here, there will be price to pay. But vengeance is not my mission.
What is your part in this then?
He gestures around and says, "These men care for so many dead. They need allies on both sides."
See? That we do. Are you here to be an ally to us then?
He nods and says, "That's it has been the role I've been called to."
Then we will you, Senor. Do you have a name still or just a purpose?
He says names are no longer needed. The Morrigan has given me a role here.
Very well then. If you are to be the Morrigan's eyes, sword, she is a manifold. What are you here to be of hers?
He pulls out his dagger and he says, "A blade. When she calls one home, sometimes she needs a delivery person."
Morrigan's blade. Very well, Senor. Blade of the Morrigan. If there is any aid that we can help you with, Senor, we will happily help you as you help those of us here. Sí. Bueno,
He nods and just says, "Very well."
do I really want to lower the gauntlet, mess with it so that I can shake on it, or...
I think spirit too, you can technically touch spirits without actually affecting the gauntlet itself.
Oh, then I was going to do that.
Fairly certain that falls under spirit too.
I can manipulate the gauntlet. Is that what...
Touch spirit though is allows you to touch a non-manifested spirit.
I don't remember what all was under, too.
Two is everything to interact with the spirit world. 3 is everything to do with breaking through to the other side.
If I can symbolically shake or agree to do so with said spirit.
That's certainly an option.
She's gonna do that.
All right.
No, she does not do that. She makes a gesture like she's gonna shake hands, but she doesn't get anywhere through anything to.
He just kind of nods to you in recognition of your intent.
And with that, she's gonna make her way back towards Miranda.
Towards Avalon.
Yes, Miranda's gonna head back towards Avalon. Sorry.
Avalon's kind of been she kind of moved away from where she was before. She's kind of checking out the Steig situation there.
There's not much left.
Of, holy shit! I've just seen a ghost happened.
I have some description, Miha, of the gentleman who did a murder torture thing. He's kind of a taller. He smokes muy importante. He's kind of older, but he kept his face hidden. And we have a few guests on the other side who are here to help when such time is what is the word in English? When the time is right.
She kind of
The Morrigan has given us her blade.
she kind of stops for a minute and looks at Miranda. And it's like she didn't hear anything that Miranda just said.
Mija, are you even paying attention to me? Mija, she's gonna turn Avalon's face towards her. Mija, hola, ¿cómo estás?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Mija, I said I have some description of the gentleman who did the torture murder thing, and when such time comes, we have the Morgan's blade uh, as our as our help here to was it, should we need the help or be ready to send people for their punishment? ¿Sí? Bueno, bien.
Good. And her eyes just kind of drift back to the mess left behind.
And Petrus is kind of standing up and literally dusting himself off.
And kind of stares at him for a minute.
Petrus is the one that was like had the black claws thingy that he did.
Yep. He's
Mm.
also like scarred and semi-rotting looking almost.
Mija, is he a young guy like you say you are? That is the right word, right? See?
Don't know him. Just a minute.
What do you mean he is what? Your your no make sense, mija.
It's a very long story to discussing at this point.
Then we will discuss it over bed tonight, and we will get these sorted out. You see? Oui, sí. The, sí, señor. Mija, chica.
This might be this one might take a while to discuss.
Mija, why are you keeping things from me like this? You know I can just read your mind if I have to. It's so much easier if you just tell me.
Advise. And she's actually taking a tone that you've never heard come from her before. Like it's a calm but angry, irritated tone.
Miranda kind of like shrinks down some from her usual boisterous, bouncy, pushy self. See, mija.
Just falls into herself for a minute. Like she's like there's definitely some a lot of surprise, shock, like not knowing how to react to this situation. She kind of looks back on the scene that was there.
Miranda's just gonna stay quiet and kind of behind Avalon until she's brought back into good graces in her mind.
Avalon seems to just be kind of digesting still what's going on.
Yeah, the prince does seem to be handling a little bit of business, but then he kind of prepares to head out. Yeah. There's a couple of groups kind of discussing what the right move is to protect themselves. Should the Catholics decide to come after them anymore.
Avalon will kind of look over at Miranda. See if you can find out anything else.
Sí, mija.
Unless, well, maybe not. Sorry, but this is a whole can of worms that I wasn't ready for, and I just need some time.
Sí, mija. Buenas noches. And Miranda's gonna just move off and talk to the spirits, that the wraiths that are still here, get any more information she can on descriptions where they were when they were taken.
All right.
If you want, I can do that part in Blue Booking.
I was just going to say that way we have a record so we're not both rewatching this scene in 2 weeks to remember what the hell we said.
Perfect.
So we will wrap that up there. And that should conclude our scene. Unless there's anything else either of you guys want to take care of.
I think I can do what I need to do in Blue Book.
All right. This has been another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. Thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching.